Ladies and gentlemen out there, this is Artie Lang. This is disgusting. Everybody's too nice now. We're all so nice, aren't we? But the thing is, we're not nice. Secretly, we're mean. That's essentially the show. It is funny. I could not be a bigger just blob of nothingness and negativity. Party time! You want to get a little limbo dance going? Come on, I'll do it. The third person at the table was the bottom of my stomach. With hair and paleness and stretch marks. American nightmare. Weight like a spider. And this talks about every controversial subject you can imagine.
Shock jock Artie Lang on Media Day. Can't be with that sweet stuff. Nah.
Smack the sugar right out of you. Hey, welcome to the Artie Quitter Podcast. That's right, I got the title. It took me a week and a half to figure out what the name of the show was. I thought it was Artie Lang's podcast for an hour. It's Artie Quitter Podcast. Apparently that's better for marketing. Not as crowded today, which I think is a good thing. I like that. Joe Matarese is here, of course. Joe, what's up?
I'm undeniable, I think. I show up every day.
You're always here. Yeah, it's odd. We keep thinking maybe he won't show up.
Best parking spot of the, what is this, our 8th show?
We're doing it, yeah, we're doing this from Hoboken, New Jersey, the single worst city on the planet fucking Earth to park.
I got the best spot I've gotten out of the 8 shows.
I think
I'm like a block from here.
Well, there's garages too. The parking is ridiculous. If I pay for everyone's parking, I will, if I'm lucky, break even on this podcast. Because it's just as expensive as the fucking city. My other buddies here, one of my great friends, the real funny Russ Meneve.
Hey, man.
What's up, Russ?
Hey, buddy.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I want to get to Russ is having trouble with my road manager, Tim Sullivan.
This is going to be great.
I love hearing Tim's stories. And we'll get to that in a second. But big news, surprise, surprise, Al-Qaeda is taking credit for the Charlie Hebdo attack. We didn't see that coming. They say they financed it. There's a crazy terrorist. We were just looking at the guy. I don't know what his name is, but the video of one of the Al-Qaeda guys, he's got a beard. That's the oddest looking beard we've ever seen. He's got a real jet black mustache, like Robert Goulet type black. And then he's got an all white, odd looking beard that's an odd sort of golden white color.
Well, the roots are black,
yeah,
and then it turns gray, and then it's like there's blonde tips on the bottom.
It looks like Donald Trump is making out with his neck or something. It's really odd.
He's an alt comic.
Yeah,
you gotta have the beard.
Alt short for alternate.
Alternate.
Right. Alternative. So they're taking credit for it, of course. They financed it. And what did it say? It cost them 20 grand.
20 grand, that's it.
20 grand for the whole thing. 20 grand, man. A one-stop shop. And you can get rifles, gear, information that you need.
Do you think that includes the gear? That looks like, I would think those guns must cost, that's got to cost more than 20
Dude,
grand.
if you buy in bulk, you get good prices.
But why does it take, like, because they had said that he planned it like years ago. So why does it take so long for that particular, I could see 9/11, obviously. That took some serious manpower and thought. But
I think they had to figure out the exact right time. I think it's all about the timing of it. And then security. They got away. They had to case that place out a long time.
You think?
We'll figure out when, because, nowadays with computers, not everybody's in the office all the time.
That's interesting.
So they figured out a day where, for some reason, people were in the office, and a bunch of them. And also, they got away with hardly any resistance at all.
Yeah.
There was a couple of cops in the area, so it looks like they cased it out.
But they didn't know where it was. Remember they walked in and they said, "Where's Charlie Hebdo?"
I mean, 2 years is a bit much.
Right.
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Where is
so
it?
how much casing was done?
Well, it's certainly not 2 years worth.
Yeah.
But it's affecting our culture now. The show Homeland just announced that they're not going to be as heavy on the Muslim terrorist theme. What are they going to become, an office comedy or something? Like what? That's the whole show.
Yeah.
Well, how are they not going to be heavy on the terrorist theme? I mean, that's the whole fucking show.
Right, you're right.
They're going to recut American Sniper? Isn't that what that's about, too?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Are they?
No, that's
I'm
out.
kidding. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's out already. They can't do that.
It's out. Fucking. That movie's about it. It's got to be covering terrorism.
The
right?
Homeland is real tough on Pakistan. Really tough. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't paint a pretty picture of Pakistan. But I mean, aren't they just telling the truth? I don't know. I've never been over there, but it doesn't seem pretty. Or what's going on? It doesn't seem pretty.
Well, they came out with the paper today, and they had another animated Muhammad on there, and apparently any depiction of Muhammad or Allah,
you got to
no
stay away
what,
from it.
Is they want to kill you?
That's the other thing. Did they miss the whole thing of Muhammad was preaching peace? That's all he was about. I mean, like beyond Gandhi, it was all about nonviolence. And but again, so they're indulging these guys. It makes no sense in this country. We air these guys yelling out, "We have avenged Muhammad. We have avenged the Prophet Muhammad," and that's all these guys want is that attention. So the next guys in line see that and they go, "Fuck! If we do this." If they really believe they want to be martyrs and they're going to go and get the virgins and all that bullshit, and they made up their mind we're going to die, when they see that they put them on TV yelling that out, they're going, fuck, I'm definitely doing it now because we're getting this attention.
Right.
CNN, Fox, they put them on television. Yeah. I mean, but we don't put people who run on the field during baseball games on television. Right. We don't indulge those people because we're afraid they might do it again. But terrorists, we're fine.
Yeah. Did you see the video today?
It doesn't make any sense.
There's a Russian boy. He's got to be 9 or 10 years old. And he's standing next to, they have the beheading videos. Where there's two guys on their knees.
It's another one. I watched some of that. I'm pissed I watched it.
That's the most horrific.
Yeah.
But now they have a 10-year-old Russian boy that's obviously part of ISIS.
Yeah.
And they're recruiting children all the time. He's got a gun. And there's 2 Russian spies that tried to infiltrate ISIS, and they have him on their knees like they do all the time. And he does the whole, the
10-year-old kid.
Well, the guy's monologuing to the camera, and then the 10-year-old kid comes over and just shoots them both in the head.
Shoots in the
10
head.
years old.
Wow.
Crazy.
Well, I tell you, that one story when I was on the. Makes me think now. When we were over in Afghanistan, when me and Attell and Nick and those guys went over to Afghanistan, we were flying over the Afghani desert in Apache helicopters, and they had guns out the side, and they let us shoot the guns. These 20-year-old redneck kids, and literally the guns were, they're holding the magazine, and we're sitting there, and it's me and Baba Booey from the Stern Show, and Nick and me, and we're sitting there in Florentine too. It's a fucking crew. We're sitting on this Apache helicopter, and they're just looking for Al-Qaeda to come out of these little spider holes in the desert to shoot at them. And the kid looks at me and goes, "Hey, Artie, you want to shoot this fucker?" And I was like, "Yeah, can I?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "What should I aim at?" He goes, "Try to hit that mountain." And the kick on the gun, I felt like such a fag, man. The kick on the gun, I didn't hit the mountain. I missed the mountain. I didn't come close to it.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
And the redneck kids are laughing like, "How did you hit the mountain, you pussy?" You sucking cock, pussy, all over me. So I said to them, what if I accidentally kill an Al-Qaeda guy?
That's what I thought you meant. I said, you want to shoot this fucker. I
said,
thought he saw.
Well, he didn't see anybody. He meant the gun. Shoot the gun.
Right.
But I said, what if I accidentally kill somebody? He goes, that's one less fucker I gotta kill. And then I said, well, there's families down there. I said, what if I shot a 10-year-old boy? That's exactly what I said, that age. And he, dead serious, he said to me, "Hey, Hitler was 10 once, wasn't he?"
Oh, my God.
And I said, he goes, "Would you have killed Hitler if you knew he was going to become Hitler when he was 10? And I go, I think I'd probably have to kill Hitler.
Yeah, of course you would.
So, I think I would.
Yeah.
But even though according to Mel Gibson's father, it was only 2 million Jews. The rest moved to the Bronx. That's what Mel Gibson's dad told me.
I saw the Diane Sawyer, yeah.
Mel Gibson said it was not 6 million, it was 2 million. First of all, only 2 million. What are we uptight about? Secondly, the rest moved to the Bronx. So 10 years, there's evil kids out there too,
Yeah, well. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, it's just that...
I got nothing.
No, I mean, no. Well, first of all, as far as the military and the guys in the planes, the fog of war, and you start to go crazy, and you just start. I don't blame
them.
You understand?
Listen, those guys. If we're going to be in war, those are the guys I want there. Right, I don't want David Cross going over there.
Right.
Whoever let him out of the fucking locker.
But these guys are easy to recruit, like these ISIS guys, because you have to look at it this way: like they're broke, they have nothing. They look at our culture; we're rich over here. We have amazing lives. They have nothing to look forward to. the oil, what is it? Maybe 1% are benefiting from the oil. A couple sheiks.
There's no middle class.
They're all broke. They have nothing. So how easy is it to recruit these guys?
That's the other thing. We were close to the Pakistani border too when we went over there, and we drove through a village on our way to a signing, and it is like little tents. It's biblical. It's biblical. I mean, they're selling trinkets out of tents, like they're frankincense and myrrh you could buy.
The majority of the world is living on $20 a month.
Right, and they look at us, exactly. They look at us and, like Pantangeli says in The Godfather, he's sitting up here in the Sierra Mountains, you're drinking, what are they drinking, Cheech? Champagne cocktails.
Yep. And they're looking at, we have nothing, and their economy is running on our oil. And we have nothing. And look at how they live. And, it's just,
No, I know. And 1% of them, is get mad at the 1% that are ripping them off. What about that?
Yeah.
Because it is an insane amount of money that's concentrated. And the rest is complete poverty. You're right. And then they're mad at our lifestyle. And again, if you really could convince some idiot that they're going to go 70 virgins, all that bullshit, when they die. But
kind of like, I always think of comedic bits, but Chris Rock's bit where he's talking about leaving the ghetto to go to prison. Sometimes the prison's better than the ghetto.
No, 3 hots and a cot. That's what they call it. Yeah, you get 3 hot meals. It's better than trying to make it in society because there's no rent. I think of the guy I was next to in L.A. County Jail, the cell next to me. The guy who taught me how to make a roll of toilet paper into a pussy.
That's a genius.
I really think the guy goes, hey, man, you want to see take a roll of toilet paper, you wet it and you squeeze it. You hand it to me, I'll show you how to make it into a fucking pussy, man. He goes, you take the cardboard out, you put it under the sink, and you squeeze it like in a V. You fuck that thing, man, you'll never go back to pussy.
Well, easy.
I think when I was 17, I tried to fuck a roll of toilet paper without wetting it. I think I tried to fuck the inside of the toilet paper.
You can't not wet it.
I didn't realize.
How could your mind not go to point B and wetting it?
What are you, an asshole?
I don't know. I'm one of those weird dudes. I jerk off with nothing. I don't need moisture.
Yeah. You ever try moisture?
When I was in high school, I would do it. I was weird, man.
Did you ever do the thing
I think of shit I did when I was a kid, and I go, is that what my son's going to be doing? Like, I remember fucking olive oil, anything.
Olive oil.
I remember taking olive oil out of my parents' cabinet at like 2 a.m. and going down to the basement.
Remind me never have a salad at your house.
I was going to say. It's disgusting. What was I doing?
There's so many other options. Why would you go to olive oil?
I don't know. I'm not a smart... Kind of why I had to bail out of that conversation. I'm not as intelligent as you guys.
It's not about intelligence. It's just like, watching 3 seconds of CNN.
See the Putin thing last night? Just the whole documentary about Russia and how crazy that is now.
For some reason, I don't think Putin's on the up and up.
Oh, God, terrible.
He doesn't seem on the level of me. He seems like a badass, you don't fuck with, but that's, crazy.
Yeah.
We're diplomats. Again, it's that old thing where... my old man was the most street smart guy on the planet. And he would tell me, if you're in a fight on the street and you could fight either like a kid who's 4'11" but is crazy enough to hit you with a pipe, or a 6'8" like football player type kid who's a nice guy, always fight the football player.
Right.
Because you don't want to fight a lunatic. Right. And that's what Saddam Hussein told us. They said, look, okay, you're probably going to take over Iraq, but we're going to be a bitter pill to swallow. That's what he told us. And he's right, because they're the lunatic kid that'll hit us with a pipe. They're the nuts.
Yep.
We're not. We're trying to be all diplomatic, and other people are not like that.
There's even a saying, even guys in prison don't want to fuck with crazy.
No, they don't. That's why I said I do a joke about it, where I've been to mental institutions and I've been to jail, and I'd much rather be in jail because... you eventually you just want to have a nice conversation that makes sense with someone. And, when people don't think logically in a mental home. Like in jail, people think, I needed money, so I stole a car. And in mental homes, people think I needed money, so I jerked off at the mall.
Now I'm going to go to another comedian. What's the Dom Irrera bit? about getting you better. If you're gonna hit me, you better fucking kill me.
That's the Irish guy.
Coming back.
That's the like he does all the different what it's like to fight the different races.
Yeah.
And the worst were Irish, and he's true. The Irish kids, the blue collar Irish kids. If you fucking fight me, you better kill me because I'm mental and I never forget.
And I never forget.
You better not leave a finger. If a finger is alive, I will
It'll
taunt
crawl
you.
up
It'll
the fucking steps. It will get you. It'll gouge your eye or something.
Gouge your eye out if you leave a fucking.
That's my only knowledge is comedian. I don't know why those things stick in my brain better than current events.
A smart comic should do that. Should give you a perspective on something in life comedically. That makes sense. I think.
Yeah.
Dom has 3 or 4 of the best bits ever. Though he's really got. The other one that I love, speaking of him, is. The one where he talks about, I hate when people say stuff like, yeah, I met Bruce Springsteen. He's a nice guy. Like, really? He's a nice guy? He's a multi-millionaire rock star. He gets laid every 3 seconds. He should be a nice guy. You know who should be an asshole? Peppy, the arthritic cook at the diner. He should be a little cranky around lunch.
Around lunch. Isn't that added?
Right, exactly. He should be a little cranky.
I always, the one thing you left out, I always love in the bit where he goes, you should be high five and low five. And I don't know why I remember stupid shit like that. Bruce Springsteen should be high five and low five.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just a different perspective. So look forward to Homeland without the terrorist theme. That's like saying Archie Bunker is gonna be a part of the ACLU or something in the new season of fucking All in the Family. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like now we're letting them dictate. That's one of the biggest shows in this country. It's a high-rated show. People love it. Wins all sorts of awards, and now I want to see how it affects the goddamn scripts.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the few shows that was honest. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, I've never watched the show, but I know it's a good show. But
I
don't know how you can do a show about terrorism and then all of a sudden try to pull it out of there.
Well, the thing is, let's look at the other side. The other side of it is, do I draw this Muhammad or Allah cartoon? They're coming.
Well, they're exactly.
Is it worth it?
Yeah,
I understand the other side.
Right? No, I know.
But,
do you think the creative people that are out here writing script are they going to just stop writing anything about that now? Is that we're not going to see shows that have that in it anymore?
Well, look at what happened with The Interview, the movie. I think censorship, political correctness was taking over comedy already. Now, after that, forget it. They're going to be so uptight with what they.
Extremism is, it's very tough, and you can't control it. And now they have these guys that are just like these, they're not even really part of the core cell. They just have these like disenfranchised guys that like go on the internet. They believe the propaganda, and they get into it, and they go off, and they're just lone wolves, and they start causing problems. Yeah. And there's tons of them now.
Well, that's what I mean. It's the guys who are nuts. Like when even Al-Qaeda's going. Like one of my favorite things I read a book about the Westies. You know who the Westies are?
Yeah, of course.
Irish gang that became big in the 70s in Hell's Kitchen.
Right.
And we talk about the Irish. This makes sense after what we were just talking about. The Gambinos hired them to collect money for them. And they would just say, look, break this guy's arm or beat the shit out of him. He owes a Shylock money, blah, blah, blah. Right. And they would go and they chop the guy's head off. So like supposedly like John Gotti had to go down and go, like the Gambinos had to say, you guys are crazy. What are you doing? Calm the fuck down. Like, you told us to, no. We said beat up the guy. How's he going to pay us now? He doesn't have a head.
That's funny.
Because they want that's the thing you got to remember about Shylocks and Boogies. They want the money.
Right. Oh my God, it's funny.
The guy doesn't have a head. So then the big trouble. Well, the big trouble happened.
Doing Rocky.
Was the big trouble was then the Gambinos would say to the Westies, now you owe us the money that he would have owed us. And then
did he do that?
It was supposedly.
How do you say that to a Westie after he chopped the guy's head off?
Well, you say it if you're a Gambino.
Oh, okay.
But
I'd still.
But the Westies don't care.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's the thing.
There's never been. I always said Colin Quinn knows a lot of those guys, and Colin's such a brilliant writer. There's never been a great. There's a really good book called 10th and 48th. It's based on the street corner, 10th Ave and West 48th Street, the heart of Hell's Kitchen. That's one of the best books I've read about the Westies because I'm fascinated by them. There's never been a great movie about them. State of Grace with Sean Penn tried. It fell off the mark, I thought. Colin really has the knowledge and he's talented enough. If you could get like a Colin Quinn script or if you can't direct it, like you got like Scorsese to direct it. I would love to see the quintessential Westies movie. It's never been made because it's fascinating. It's fascinating.
Who was the head of that?
There was two guys. One was named Jimmy Coonan and Mickey Featherstone, and they're both alive still. I thought one was dead, but they're both in the witness protection program.
Okay, wow.
They would like chop people's hands off and keep them in a freezer. So when they would go do a crime, they'd take the hand out and leave fingerprints around. So they'd throw the cops off. Like there'd be a reasonable doubt somebody else's fingerprints were there, and it was a frozen hand they had in the freezer.
Hilarious.
But both of those guys were. When Hell's Kitchen became all yuppies and gentrified, they were finding these bars like these. These gay guys were moving and go, we're going to make this all magenta here, and I want you to move all these boxes away. They would move the boxes away, and there'd be like skeletons of dead bodies and stuff. Like, what's that?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd like to see that. But anyway, Al-Qaeda claiming responsibility for this. Oh, there's the guy with the beard. See, there he is, Joe. Look at the beard on that.
Black roots, white in the middle, and then tips are done on the bottom. Blonde.
That's why I like that.
He's a little metrosexual for Al Qaeda.
He looks like
he's got blonde, gray combo.
And the outfits.
He's a scary looking guy, man. Yeah. He doesn't look like he has. That's the problem. You know what they don't have? And Albert Brooks tried to do this with that searching for comedy in the Muslim world. They don't. What they're lacking, it seems to be, is a sense of humor. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Jews have a great sense of humor about themselves.
Right.
A lot of Catholics, Christians do too. They don't seem to have a sense of humor. That's the problem. You gotta laugh. Like that guy right there does not seem like he laughs at all. You need to laugh it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You laugh at yourself.
Well, yeah, and I would think it creates an anger problem if you're never laughing. You're just serious all the time.
Right.
You're gonna fucking kill people.
Yeah, because there's no release.
Yeah.
There's no release.
It makes it one. It's got to be the poverty, because there's always we've had progression, because there was the Crusades and Christianity. Like there's been a progression where we don't, we're like over this,
right?
But they're stuck in this like craziness, and it's like, what is causing it? It's got to be that they're so broke.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I understand, but here's my argument with that. Poverty over here with Jews, Italians, blacks when they came over here, that created comedy. Like comedy was born out of really bad poverty, because that's all they had. They talk about all the Jewish slums and the Italian ghettos and the black ghettos. It was all about, okay, we're laughing at ourselves and the world because that's all we have.
But so crime and murder goes up too. So what,
listen, the people who can't be funny, if you're not witty, sometimes you're both witty and violent, like Bugsy Siegel supposedly both. That's a good combination.
It is weird that financial stability and rich people don't have as good of a sense of humor. It's just very odd. Like if you ever have to perform for rich people, you're always nervous.
Mm-hmm. They feel guilty. Well, I think a lot of times they feel guilty, maybe laughing at anything. I think that a lot of rich people maybe they're like afraid to look happy in public because they look like assholes. I don't know, but
a harder life definitely gives you more sense of humor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess if you got really rich and you came from mediocrity, you would. It's different than if you were born rich.
Absolutely.
Isn't there a documentary? Did you tell me to see that, Born Rich?
Yeah,
I have it on my list. Did you see it?
I've seen it. Yeah,
I can't find it anywhere. I heard it's great.
Oh, it's great.
Well, again, that's their struggle. That's a rich kid's struggle. Like I tend to be bitter and hate rich kids, like off the bat if I meet one. But their struggle is finding their own identity. Like I think about Springsteen has two sons. One of them's getting in the music business. His last name is Springsteen. That's got to be hard for him to find his own identity. Yeah. Whereas his father's struggle was coming from no money and trying to get out of that world.
I bet Bob Levy's bass player son's going to be a lot better than Springsteen's kid at music. Just because he's grown up shittier.
I don't know. Maybe. I hope. Yeah. Like with Bob, there's a lot to rebel against with Bob as your father.
I'm trying to think of well-off comedians that I'm like, a guy's hilarious, like was just born rich and did very well.
I can't. Well, I don't know a lot of people's back. Seinfeld comes from not like upper middle class, right?
You think?
I don't know.
That's what I
He
heard.
was the sign salesman, the father.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, I met Paris Hilton once at Letterman. She was the first guest. I was second, and her gay assistant came back when I was in makeup and said, "Paris would love to meet you," because I was on Howard once. At the time, we were goofing on her or whatever, and she came back and I met her, and she had taken over her dressing room. Like there was pink blankets all over the place, and she's a 30-year-old woman. There was little stuffed animals all over the place, and I got summoned. I'm sitting there, I'm saying, "What am I doing here? I don't give a shit." And she goes, "Are you going to make fun of me? Don't make fun of me." And I go, "Well, it's kind of like my job too, though, don't you think so?" "I don't get that. Why would you want to do that?" And I shook her hand, and I even hugged her. She just felt rich. Like her hands felt like she was bathed in special lotions that came from the Middle East. Like she felt like she never washed with zest.
Right,
you wouldn't even know what that is. or Dial or Irish Spring. She always had some sort of special potion. Her skin felt
buttery.
And listen, and I hate to admit it, but God, I wanted to fuck the shit out of her.
Did you really?
Oh, she's one of the sexiest. I hate to admit this. She's one of the sexiest people I've ever been in the presence of.
Really?
Oh my God. Her and Chad Ochocinco, two of the sexiest people. Do you think it's gay that I refer to Chad Ochocinco as David Beckham dipped in fudge? No. She was. You know, fuck her pussy. I wanted to fuck her mouth.
Wow.
Really?
Just shut her up.
Yeah.
Just go, are you going to make fun of me? Don't make fun of me.
Well, sound effect, Jesus.
You know what that is? That's Joe Namath.
Is it?
That's an old Joe Namath.
Which one?
Finding out about. Remember the Joe Namath clip where he's drunk?
Yeah.
And he used to be
struggling.
Used to get every piece of pussy on the planet. Now he's old.
Yeah.
Age destroying a guy, and he's like, "I don't care if the team is struggling. I want to kiss you." When she says maybe, that's the goofy nerd. He becomes a nerd. Yeah. That's what he said. Play the whole clip for Russ.
He says
I couldn't care less about the team struggling. I want to kiss you.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
He does that? He made that sound?
That's him.
It doesn't sound like him.
That's Joe Namath. Yeah, because he became a nerd all of a sudden. All of a sudden he became Potsy Weber.
Yeah, right. He even does the fade in. It's so awful. He's like, "I want to kiss."
Yeah. When you make the word struggling 14 syllables, you're drunk. Struggling. Yeah, and the chick's not even that hot. She's cute, but she's not even that hot.
It's Susie. What's her name from ESPN?
Colbert.
Yeah, Colbert. But why did he make such a big deal out of it? I'd be like, "Look, I was drunk, and I made a move." So what?
Supposedly, he was drunk every day, morning, noon, and night. So
I think sometimes you over apologize. You look worse.
Yeah. Well, Joe Namath shouldn't have to, is the point, but he felt he had to. Yeah, he got very, very politically correct.
Oh, and it's so horrible.
But he claimed he got sober because of it, so maybe if that helped. But yeah, he's yelling out like a fucking 13-year-old who never got laid before. It's Joe fucking Namath, the pussy that went through his apartment. The stewardesses that left their panties in his bathroom in
the documentary
the early
on him.
70s.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Oh,
yeah,
I saw that one.
Did you see that?
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's based on a book my friend Mark Kriegel wrote, the quintessential book about Joe Namath. If you want to read a great book about him, Mark Kriegel picked that up because it's even better than the documentary. It covers a lot more shit. But what we were doing to play this for us, the Matthew McConaughey commercials.
Oh, I've seen it.
Okay, we would play his him talking in those commercials into the It's kind of fun.
Jim Carrey does a funny thing on SNL with that.
Yeah, try to.
I'll just do this version of it, but I got the whole thing.
That's a big bull.
Yeah! That's a big bull. I didn't see Jim Carrey's thing on that. Those are ripe for the picking, those fucking things. They're terrible. They are terrible. But he became did you watch Dallas Buyers Club? Did you guys see that?
I saw
I
it.
haven't seen it.
It's hard to watch because he's so thin, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch him.
Well, he's thin in Wolf of Wall Street, too, because he made it right afterwards.
Yeah, but still he's wearing, man. even at that, it was a little disconcerting.
Like the machinist level?
He's too skinny.
Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
I roasted Mary Batali once, and I got in trouble for this joke I made about Michael Stipe. He was in the front row of this roast, and I said, if Michael Stipe gained 50 pounds, he would look like he has AIDS.
That's hilarious.
and like people like nervous laughing. I looked at him like you always look at the subject. He had a look on his face like he wanted to shoot me with a bazooka. And of course I caught shit the next day, like, insensitive. Like, I'm like, does he have AIDS? I guess, I don't know. I'm just saying he's looking thin. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, don't have a comedian. You don't want to, just have people.
That's a roast. People don't want you to say the word AIDS. So sports-wise, I'm trying to pick my lock of the week. Won last week, and then I proceeded to take that money and lose $4,100 with it. But I'm trying to pick my lock of the week. It's tough, man. These two NFL games are rough.
What are the spreads?
Seahawks at home are giving 7 to the Packers. The Patriots at home giving 7 to the Colts. And I must say, I like the over in both games. But the over's 46.5, under over's 46.5 in Seahawks Packers. Patriots Colts 53.5. Both are going to be high scoring games. I got to say, my lock is an under over. I like Seahawks Packers 46.5. I like the over. Joe, your thoughts?
I like the over in the Patriots game, definitely. That's the one.
That's 53.5.
I don't care.
All right. Oh, Jesus. All right. Come on.
Well, wait a second. He doesn't know any of our sound effects. Russ is like, what the fuck is happening? That's me trying on the guitar to play the sound effect when bad stuff happened on the Hawaii Brady Bunch episode.
The tarantula.
It's a segue. Do you follow football enough to like this shit?
He's insane with football.
I would definitely take
do you like the over in both games? You like the Packers?
I like the Packers.
Okay, getting 7.
Getting 7.
Listen, with Aaron Rodgers, I don't care if they're in Seattle. Oh, Seattle's tough, man.
It is tough.
Seattle's peaking at the right time.
Yep.
They're playing great. They're well coached. The defense is great, but the Packers getting 7 is hard.
Yeah,
man.
hard to.
You don't care that he's got the fucked up
Did you see him in the last
leg
game,
muscle?
Dude? He's throwing
but he's
lasers,
limping all over.
I know. But also, what is the deal with this home field advantage? Like, why can the Seahawks have this place where their odds go so far up in winning, and half their games are there? Isn't that crazy?
Well, Lambeau was the same thing with the Packers. I mean, Lambeau was like their sanctuary.
Yeah. Is it as much as the because you hear
yes,
the Seahawks?
Yes, they're close.
Okay,
but I think the biggest home field advantage is Green Bay at Lambeau. I think so. Okay. Just because of the cold, but Seattle stuff too. That's why you get a team as great as the Packers. Well, it's actually 7 and a hook. The current line's 7.5 in that game, so it's going up.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's about the injury. You're right. I think that's about Rodgers' leg, the fact that it's going up.
Yeah, but that's getting shot up to no end for that game.
Yeah.
And
plus, he's got Hans and Franz training him.
Right.
They're pumping him up. What are they getting paid for that? What's Dana Carvey getting? They got to pry Dana Carvey away from a $400,000 corporate gig to shoot that commercial.
My parents think they're the greatest commercials. I'm like, Ma, come on, really?
I still
That's
love
such
those
an
guys,
old
though.
reference.
So I still
you
like
still
it,
love
though. I
them?
still love
Well, I
it.
didn't like it when it was new. I got to be
Come
honest.
on.
I never loved Hans and Franz.
Kind of hacky.
I
thought
liked
Wayne's
it.
World was kind of hacky.
I liked Wayne's World.
Conan O'Brien, maybe he doesn't want me to say this. Conan O'Brien told me a funny story once. I was on a show during the commercial. I forget why we were talking about this, but he told me that when Mike Myers pitched Wayne's World to him as a sketch, he was a writer at SNL. He goes, "That's the hackiest thing I've ever heard. Don't do that." But that's what Conan told me. He goes, "I thought it was hacky."
What's hacky?
It's the Wayne's World.
But what's hacky about
Yeah, I was
it?
just going to say.
The fact that it's two like stoner kids and you've seen that a million times. That's what he thought.
But doing
I
a
hadn't seen it
public
before like
access
that.
show, I don't
that's
think
what
that's
he
hacky at
thought.
all.
Again, argue with Conan.
It's
not
way
me.
off.
Yeah, at the time, I don't think it was hacky.
But it was funny how Conan was just like, he was admitting that, look, it's a huge success.
Right.
I was like, look, I thought it was hacky.
It's like saying Spicoli is hacky. Like Spicoli.
no,
Like,
see,
one of the greatest
Spicoli
things ever.
wasn't. They're talking 7 years after Spicoli. They're doing Spicoli.
Right.
So it's 7 years after, so it became hacky. That's like the first airport joke wasn't hacky when Seinfeld did it in 1961, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's my point.
I thought but
you're arguing my point. Wayne's World is hacky because Spicoli invented
No,
it.
but I'm saying if you take a character of Stoner but then throw it into some public access show, it changes it. It doesn't. I don't know.
Well, to exaggerate to make a point, like it was extremely not hacky.
What?
Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer. How great is that?
That is great. Yeah.
That's like something like no
that
one would
Phil
think
Hartman?
of. Oh my God, I love it.
Phil Hartman's one of the funniest
I'm not familiar with, and he's on his cell phone. It was hilarious.
Phil Hartman is one of the funniest motherfuckers.
Everything Phil Hartman did was great.
Yeah, it was great.
and like he's an example of a guy where the impressions didn't have to be dead on; they were just funny. Like his Clinton wasn't dead on; it was just funny.
I was a page at NBC at SNL years ago, and I had to pick him up from his limo, and he was a weird dude.
Yeah,
and
very eccentric.
Yeah, very eccentric, and then I was taking him and his wife down in the elevator.
Talk about weird.
The
wife,
and she was bizarre. Like it's like a woman you would never expect him with. You know, like just like an older, aging, like
a lot of
modeling.
people, a lot of guys in this business, they get in relationships where you're almost embarrassed for them. That seemed like a situation where she was nuts and on all those antidepressants and eventually shoot you in the head.
When you're sleeping.
This one's really obscure on Phil Hartman. I don't know why. This just came to my head. This shows you my fucking weird brain. But do you remember? Do they still do the American Comedy Award? They do that, right?
I don't know.
The American Comedy Awards or whatever.
I'm a comedian for 20. I don't know.
You don't even know.
That's not only am I
Never
not
been
nominated,
invited.
I don't know if they do the show.
I remember Phil Hartman coming out. And I think he was presenting a Lifetime Achievement Award or something. And just with that like stiff jaw, he's like, there's a lot of love in this room.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, most of that love is my own love for the hearing of my own voice. It was just, I don't know. I just fucking that
He's
bombed.
super talented. He's one of those guys that nails it every time.
Well, he does that
voice.
ironic thing.
The Sinatra shit he did, I forgot about that.
That's what you just did. Is
God.
basically Troy McClure on The Simpsons. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm Troy McClure. Perhaps you know me from the following film. That ironic thing. But there's movies there's a movie Greedy with Michael J. Fox. That's a horrendous movie, except for Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman's in it, like in a supporting role, and he's so good in it. You'll watch the movie, and if you have it on tape, fast forward just to his parts.
Yeah, there's guys like that.
We
talked about James Caan the other day. Just incapable of giving a bad performance.
In the 70s, James Caan, I could watch anything he did. And he the movies he did in the 70s, obscure ones people don't even know, like Freebie and the Bean, and everyone was good. Mm-hmm. Everyone was good.
Right.
I told you, I work with James Caan and Elf, and so I was at the premiere with him, sitting at the same table. Right. And I kind of know him, which is one of the greatest thrills ever. And he's short. He's shorter than you think, like a lot of movie stars. And the last time I saw him, I'm walking by my old studio, DirecTV. I'm walking to the Starbucks down there, and he was staying at that Soho, that Trump Soho, that beautiful hotel there. Mm-hmm. And I hear, Artie Lang. I turn around, it's James Caan. And I go, hey, I call him Jimmy. I felt like that was the most Hollywood thing I've ever done. I go, Jimmy Caan. And he gave me a hug. He was with his brother who kind of manages him. So. And we talked for about 10 minutes, and he goes, I got to go, but I'm going to leave you with a joke. You're a comedian. I'm going to leave. Now, maybe you heard this joke before, but I had never heard it. Number one.
Let me guess which one it is. I heard him tell it somewhere else. Is it the Willie Nelson?
Yeah.
He loves telling this joke.
I love this joke. I always tell it. Some people don't get it.
Imagine that. Imagine never hearing that before.
Right, great.
And then, Flippin', did I ever tell you this?
Yeah.
Okay. So imagine never hearing that before.
Right.
And it's James Caan telling it.
Right.
He goes, okay, you're a comedian. It's right in my face. And he goes, what's the worst thing a broad could, he said broad too. What's the worst thing a broad could hear after she blows Willie Nelson? I said, what? He goes, I'm not Willie Nelson. I'll see you later. He goes, I'll see you later.
That makes it funnier. I never heard the I'll see you later.
No. He said that to me.
I thought the character in the joke makes it funny.
Maybe that was the joke. Now I'm thinking he said, I'll see you later.
I'm not really Willie Nelson. See you later.
Maybe he added that to the joke. I thought he was personal.
No, he was saying see you later to you.
I know, but it's funny in the joke. See you later.
But exactly, like he was talking like James Caan, and he's talking like Santino Corleone. I'm not Willie Nelson. I'll see you later. What's the worst thing a broad could hear?
It's hilarious. I'm just some disgusting old hick.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to give my official Okay, you know what? I'll go around the room if you want, but I want to give my official, see if I go 2 for 2 on locks. My official lock of the week is the over in the Seahawks-Packers. I'm going to say 46. I'm going to say one of those teams might score 50 by themselves.
Right.
And my lock last week came in, but it's not the way I thought. I thought it was going to be 35-point win. I sweat it out. They just covered at the end. So I'm not as brilliant as I think. So once again, Seahawks are giving 7.5 to the Packers in Seattle. Under over is 46.5. I like the over. That's my lock.
I like that too.
Pats giving 7 to the Colts in New England. 53.5 is the number. So what's your pick?
I'm taking,
out of all 4 of those choices.
I like the over. It's just over in the Patriots game. I think the Patriots are going to score 40 something points alone.
All right, so Joe likes the over in the Pats. I like it too.
I don't see Indy
like
scoring
the Packers
a lot.
better. And what do you think? Out of all 4 of those bets, give me one you like, Russ.
As far as what the
over under in either game or the line in either.
I like both the overs, and I would take Green Bay with the points.
Is that your favorite? What's your favorite bet of the?
You gotta have a lock.
Wait, what does it mean? It's got to be both the over.
No. Just what do you think
Just
is a
There's
no-brainer?
4 choices.
Easiest bet.
Yeah.
The over in Seattle.
You think so?
Yeah.
So you agree with me? All right.
Yep.
Packers over 46.5, and again, I like yours too.
But you're forgetting both of those teams got great defenses. That's what fucks the over up for me there.
No, that's an excellent point. That's why they call it
They got good defenses.
I don't know.
What's the point? What is
Russell,
is it 44?
Wilson and fucking Aaron Rodgers, man. What'd you say?
It's 44.5?
46.5. And the Packers.
Right.
You're 53.5. As I found out with what fucked me in the goddamn Cowboys game, my number was 52. I had the over. That's a lot of points. It was 26-21, and I'm still sweating out a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points, man.
What fucks me is I'm thinking weather, too, in my head as I'm realizing what I said to you. I think it's supposed to be really rainy and shitty on Sunday here. In New England, it might be the same way.
All right, well,
raining.
So what do you think? You changing your lock?
Look at the weather. Can you pull the weather up for Foxborough Stadium?
Right.
He's a detailed
And I have my
gambler.
phone in front of me, but I need that. Remember how I told you how the only time I ever gambled, I would stand in a certain section of the casino and wait for 4 reds?
Never told me that.
We told it on the podcast. You probably forget.
When?
I would stand in the casino where I could see 4 to 6 different roulette games going at the same time.
Podcast?
Yes. And I would try to wait for 4 blacks or 4 reds, and then I would bet a bunch of money on going the opposite.
Jesus,
And-
that was your system?
and it wasn't the dumbest system because people that work in casinos told me that they've seen red or black come out 25 times in a row. When it gets hot, it could keep coming. I'm
Usually
like,
a system doesn't make any sense.
no system, but it felt like a system to me. So I do need details.
What is it, Jay?
Showers early, becomes a steady rain later in the day. 46 degrees, 90% chance of rain. That's Foxborough, Massachusetts.
That's bad for the offense.
And they're playing the late game, right?
Yeah, it's bad for the offense.
46 degrees, though?
Oh, I
That
take
sounds
it back now.
Rainy.
Could we look up?
Going down to 33.
See, that's how anal I am. When I used to bet on, when I used to go to the racetrack and bet on horses, I would actually go look at the horse before it ran and think that I could tell.
See, here's what I'd rather do now. I'd rather not even have Joe in there. So it's just me and Russ now are giving you our locks.
The rain messes me up.
I think
I'm going with the over in the other game.
Listen, the rain.
46 degrees,
A cold rain, but that's like a shitty wintry rain.
in grass. It's not turf either. It gets fucked up.
It's not good for. It's not good for a quarterback. No, it's not. It's not good for offense.
How accurate are these forecasts a week out?
Did they ever change the overs? Could that change
All
a lot
the
when the
time.
weather changes?
We're locking in right now, Joe.
Oh, okay. I'm not really gambling. So yeah, I'm going Seattle over then.
You're telling my listeners
They have a dome, right?
No.
Wait a minute, Seattle what?
No.
The over?
They don't have a dome? I'm such an idiot. They used to have a dome, right?
Why did you
The
engage
Superdome.
in the whole debate then if you thought they had a dome?
They had a Kingdome. They didn't have the Superdome.
The Kingdom.
Kingdome.
What was the Superdome? Houston?
That's
New Orleans?
You don't know where the
I'm such an
fucking
idiot.
Superdome. All right, Joe's not in the.
I'm the gay guy of the group.
Me and Russ both like the over in the Packers game.
I like that one.
Joe has seceded from the.
Killed.
All right, we're gonna take a break. When we're gonna Joe get some more weather from around the country to give.
We bet on a badminton match or something real quick.
We'll see what the weather is at the badminton match in St. Louis. We come back. We got a lot of great voicemails, right? Yeah, I want to play some. Did Tan Filato leave another one?
Twice.
Russ, you should know that there's a character who calls into the show. It's Dan Filato's gay lover, Tan Filato. Very, does a great gay Chicago accent. Not easy to do. Although Liberace was from Detroit, so it's kind of the same thing.
Well, does he know Dan Filato from somewhere else?
He claims he used to butt fuck.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They butt fucked for 10 years. play a little. You have the first Dan Filato?
I'm looking at Dan right now. I don't see any denials.
Here's the first. Here's the first Tan Filato.
Hey there, Artie. This is Tan Filato calling you back because I heard that you requested I call you back.
Oh, this is a new one.
Tan Filato, that's obviously Dan Filato's gay ex-lover.
All right, that's a tease. We'll come back. I can't wait, actually. Everybody on Twitter is begging for more Dan Filato. And they butt fucked to deep dick pizza.
Doesn't sound so bad.
Very creative stuff. All right, Russ Meneve, Joe Matarese, again, maybe we'll give him through the commercial and make a pick. It's really like talking to a broad about gambling.
It really is. It really is. It's bad.
Back on the Artie Quitter podcast after this. Hey, we're back with the Artie Quitter podcast. Quick gluten-free sandwich break. That's what I'm going with. Speaking of Joe Matarese here, Russ Meneve, two real funny comics. And but why don't you give some plugs now, Joe? Give your plugs out.
Give plugs.
Yeah, because you might leave early. We'll try for now and at the end, but give out your plugs.
Well, I appreciate all the Artie fans been adding me on their Twitter feeds. Keep doing that. I love it, guys. At the Joe Matarese. My website's joematarese.com. My Fixing Joe podcast comes out every Thursday, soon to be added to the Artie Lang feed, so you guys won't even have to go find it. You'll just get it right on Artie's feed. But right now, you got to go find it, and it's on iTunes or joematarese.com. Okay,
that's pretty cool news. Yeah, we're not adding any more to the price, by the way. For the same price, you get more content. We're gonna have available on at artiequitter.com. You get this podcast and Fixing Joe. That's gonna be up in about a week and a half. Right, Danny? What week and a half, something like that. Rush, you want to do a plug real quick?
No.
Anything?
Nope.
A website? Nothing?
I love him. He's low maintenance.
Yeah. Clubs in the city.
Well, speaking of low maintenance and Russ being a good guy, but for some reason having issues with my entourage, with Team Lang. Now, I have my road manager is Tim Sullivan, and Timmy, has been with me for a while, and Tim can be a bit of a jerk off. But that's, good road managers should be. They try to, protect me from things, and they get tough. I think he feels empowered, Timmy, but he doesn't understand. Like, some of these guys, besides being great comedians who deserve more respect than the average person, are my good friends. And I the last thing I want is a vibe where I'm like Mr. Big Shot to them. And I go out of my way to make sure I don't treat friends of mine like that. And then Tim just ruins it by being my representative, by going, Tim's also 4'11", and that's a tough thing too. And that pisses him off too. Comes from the greatest family in the world. I love the Sullivans, and Timmy's been through a lot of tough shit. I do love him, but he can do some annoying things. And right now, Russ is in a Sullivan feud, I think.
Well, I don't think it's that.
What's going on? I want dirt on Tim. What's going on?
No, I think some guys have a bad energy that you pick up on right away. It's like a frat dude at a bar with his hat on back. Some guys you just
bad energy.
Bad
well,
energy.
We've met some of Tim's college buddies. I've met way more than you guys. After our Boston gig, we went out with one of his buddies who was. Look, I'll say it. One of the biggest assholes we've ever met.
Dude, I'm going to go on record and say he is the biggest douchebag I've ever met in my
and
whole
he was
fucking
really
life.
drunk.
The worst drunk guy ever.
And Tim loved him. Idolized him.
We liked him for us. There was a second where I was like, oh, this guy's... It was like... silent. He looked like a professional soccer player.
Right.
It's going to be this great, sophisticated gentleman, and he was just such a piece of crap.
We have such a different opinion about people. If someone looks like a professional soccer player to me, I go instant dickhead. No, again, Timmy has. You could judge somebody sometimes by their friends, and I've met some of his college buddies. They're just Oh, they give you douche chills.
Yeah.
They talk about working out incessantly. And again, I don't like if working out becomes your fucking identity, and a lot of people do that. Like they go to the gym and all of a sudden they're the most interesting person in the world. They think like, stories about the elliptical machine become like their big thing. I'm not gonna fucking be negative. You go work out, but if it's your identity, I don't want to hear about it. I don't. You don't become like that guy on the beer commercial. You're not the most interesting man in the world because you fucking do sit-ups a different way, with CrossFit or P90, fuck me in the X,
fuck me on the X.
So on top of the bad energy, Russ, so what do you mean? He's condescending to? Because I have to talk to him about this. I have to talk to him.
I just think there's when I first met him, it was right away. It was like a tough guy kind of energy that just took me by surprise immediately.
But he expressed this verbally, or was it like?
No, it's like an energy that you sense that's nonverbal at first,
right?
And then it's like a little bit bossy. This was the first gig I did with you, and then the last one, he's like, "Hey, you got to send me a W-9," and I was like, "Oh, all right." Usually, people have them there for you to sign when you do a gig or anything else.
Right, that's probably my.
I'm like, all right, I guess.
But no, that's just he's got to take care of shit like that in my life. I'm the comedian who doesn't know anything about life.
So I'm like, all right, so I'll just find one and just send it to him. How hard could it be, So.
Wait, so now you're searching for a W-9?
Yeah, which is not a big deal. So I find it, and I can't. There's something wrong with my printer. I can't print it out and scan it. Pardon me, and sign it and then scan it, send it back. I've always had printer problems, no matter whatever fucking printer I've ever had in my life. So it's like, you got to get this over like today because it's like end of the year, I guess, which doesn't matter.
So now he's yelling at you.
It's all through email.
It doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter. You can easily just find. Taxes aren't due for months or whatever. So finally, I get it over to him. January 2nd, and he's like, "What's your number? I gotta call you." Blah blah blah. So then I finally get it to him and email him, and then he just stops emailing me completely. After he gets it. But overall, it's the energy from him.
So then he loses contact with you.
Completely. So when I say to him, "Look, I had some printer problems. It's been faxed, and it's all done. Just let me know you got it," and doesn't email it back, as if he's upset that I didn't get it to him before year end for obvious problems. But it's more the energy, which I think is very easily sensed when you first meet him. It's like a tough guy.
And he wasn't always like that when I first met him. But again, before the gym, people go to the gym because what's at the gym? Mostly assholes are at the gym. I mean, let's face it, these trainers. It's like, I used to go. I'm not mocking going to the gym, but just, stay to yourself. Some people go to the gym and they have like bus trips to different events that they go to with their gym friends.
God.
Yeah, they have groups with all these lonely people. And there's nothing worse than a lonely loser who gets abs.
Right.
Because then all of a sudden, like a lonely loser, now he has abs. And I was like, maybe I'm not a loser. No, you're still a loser. You're a loser with abs now.
But he could be a nice guy.
I think Tim's more connected to the diet than the gym. I don't hear him talking about what exercises he does as much as what he's
big
eating.
into CrossFit.
Right. But that's
whatever that is. To me, it's just a reworking of jumping up and down and jumping jacks.
Yeah,
Why not just do jumping jacks? No, you don't get it. That's the other thing. He gets real insulted if you insult CrossFit. Like, dude, it's just... I could exercise. I mean, in the 1950s, people were in great shape. You don't get it. It's a different thing, dude. And I'm not even going to try to explain it to you. He also doesn't watch the news. I go, why don't you ever watch the news? He goes, because it's all negative. It's just bad news. The news should just be about people surfing and having a good time.
Well, is he dumb? I mean, I haven't spoken to him enough. That impression sounds very dumb.
I'm dumb enough. I'm dumb enough. I mean, I don't think he's dumb.
Yeah.
I don't think he's smart.
Right.
But how many people are really smart in the world? There's not a lot of really smart. The one thing he does think he's funny. He claims people that he went to college with think he's funny. And I said, Tim, listen, I don't know much about life, but I do know funny. And you're not a funny person.
It's like the scene in Punchline.
You're not a funny person. I mean, you're not a funny person.
I know funny.
I said, Tim, I'm in love.
You're not it.
I'm in love with the lady comedy. That's the most pathetic part of that movie, Punchline. The old guy, I'm in love with the lady comedy.
Tell him the story how you just knew what to pick at in Boston because you were telling him like he put on a few pounds.
He used to be heavier and used to smoke. And I have a lot of respect for Tim. He turned his life around, man. He was a smoker and he was heavy set. He got rid of all that. But I think he put on some weight.
Yeah.
Which he might have for the holidays because the gig was right after the holidays. He got so mad. I did not, man. You're just saying that. Like, dude, you're just saying it. You're just saying I'm fat just to get my goat, and it's not going to work. It's clearly working.
Yes.
No, and I'm not just saying it to get your goat. You look heavy.
Yeah, he was upset.
No, I'm not heavy. You're heavy. I'm like, I know I'm heavy. Like, that's something else I know. Fat. I know heavy. Because I'm heavy. You've gained weight. And I feel you should do something about it because it's your complete identity. Fuck you. I'm not even getting into this conversation.
He could be a nice guy. I'm just letting you know the impressions that I got from him. But the thing is, that friend, let's get back to that friend.
The friend of his.
Who was such a douchebag.
He was.
Such a dick. And the worst part was, and I said this to you before, remember that Bugs Bunny cartoon where the big dog, and there was a little dog like idolized. He was like, hey, Spike, where are we going now? Hey,
Yeah.
He was loving this guy like that.
Oh my God.
And that guy that we hated, the fit guy, he's like, yo, man. And did you hear him say this? He goes, yo, man, get this. I lost weight, got stronger.
What?
I swear to God, I thought you were right next to me when he said it. He goes,
laughed at his
he goes like this.
face.
He goes, who does that?
It's like, I read a book.
Spike. You do, Spike. I read a book. I got stupider.
That reminds me of a joke that Artie said once. He said sitcoms are the only reading you do that you get dumber when you're done one.
Yeah, I've had sitcoms. Reading sitcoms is the only kind of reading that makes you dumber. If you put Einstein in a room with 30 sitcoms, he would come out.
Hey, 8 paint chips, jump 30 IQ points. Who does that, dude?
Yeah, and he was like,
got stronger.
He's not the guy who like judges somebody completely on their shoes. Like he was goofing on my shoes. Like, oh, you're wearing sneakers on a show. I'm like, what do you do? He goes, I work at Reebok.
Yeah, he looks like one of those guys that works in the Reebok store.
Everything's fitness.
And he's 35.
Yeah.
Working at Reebok. He's taking my shoe size down. Giving me shit. Anyway,
he sucked.
I loved him, but if he's like giving a bad vibe to my buddies here, I mean, Tim's got to calm down.
I think we should film him. I don't think he knows he's doing it. I think
You got a bad vibe too, right?
But I'm telling you, it didn't used to be. So, like, I always remember how it used to be, so it doesn't piss me off as someone who's just meeting him like you are, where you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why is this guy like that?
He can be hostile.
I've known him for a long
he
time.
Can come off hostile. And the W-9's a new thing. First of all, making you send the W-9. Like, sometimes people, like my old manager, Peter Principato, Joe knows I have great stories about Peter. And I was writing the movie Beer League with my buddy Frank Sebastiano, and we were trying to work out a schedule. So Frank didn't want to bug me because I was on the road and doing Howard Stern, and we were trying to write the script, finalize it. So he said, because Howard always took different vacations every year. So he goes, I'm not going to bug Artie. I'll just ask if Howard picked the vacation because Peter always knew the vacations. So Peter goes, Howard hasn't picked the vacations yet. I'll fax you the days I know he definitely is going to take off. So he faxed him like December 25th, July 4th. He goes, Art, so basically I have a list of generic American holidays. That's what Peter said. He goes, he hasn't picked the days, but I know the days he's definitely taking off, so I will fax them to you right away. And it was like December 25th, July 4th. Really? So I can plan on definitely Artie and I can get together Christmas Day? Christmas Day, you're available to write. Okay, fine.
New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
Peter's the other guy. Again, and I have the same issues. I'm not trying to judge him, but it's what he said. He made me take this breakfast meeting with this very effeminate executive at NBC. A breakfast meeting at a hotel in L.A., and this guy would go, I pitched a new show, and I think it's a hit, but what do I know? I'm a gay Jew from Scarsdale. That's how this guy was. He would yell that out in the middle of the breakfast meeting. So while we're sitting there, before anyone orders breakfast, we're all looking at the menu, and it's very awkward. It's awkward silence. So Peter is, used to be, he's in really good shape now. He lost a lot of weight, but he was really fat. He was like 400.
I remember when he was fat.
400 pounds.
Yeah.
And there's some things that a 400-pound guy just shouldn't say out loud. Right. But to break the silence at this breakfast meeting, we're looking at the menu, and this is what Peter says. He goes, you know what, I've been good all week. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to get the pancakes.
I love that one.
I've been good all week.
You know what, I've been good all week. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to get the pancakes. Like, what does that mean, being good? I didn't need a UPS truck. I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
No one laughed?
Laughed? I burst into laughter. The guy Jew from Scarsdale didn't know what to do. But yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Like, I'm gonna take that leap. Something else. At the time, this changed. I was the biggest client he had, the biggest money-making client he had, and I was doing a gig in Boca Raton at a club. I had 5 shows in 2 days, coming off the Stern show where I'm up at 4 in the morning. I was real tired. Labor Day weekend in South Florida, and my air conditioning in my room doesn't work. And I just wanted to yell at somebody about it. The front desk wasn't enough, and I called Peter up, and I go, dude, where the fuck are you? You're not calling me back, asshole. My air conditioning doesn't fucking work. I'm down here making you money. Okay, you're sitting by the pool in Burbank right now, and I'm
so tired.
Yeah, I'm tired of yelling at him. So he doesn't call me back for like 2 days, and then I get a voicemail. I resolve the air conditioning issue myself. I do the gigs, which make him 10%, but doing nothing. And this is the voicemail I get while I'm in line at the security at the airport. Okay, this is the voicemail I get. He goes, Artie, sorry I couldn't get back to you. I had a busy weekend. Guess who scored a ticket to the Emmys? I said, you were at the Emmys? I said, your biggest client was at a fucking unair-conditioned motel in South Florida. You're at the Emmys? What designer is sewing together 3 tuxedos for you to go to the fucking Emmy Award?
And the best, I can't even call you back. Like, who? He can't call you back?
No, I know. Guess who scored a ticket for the Emmys? And God forbid I was watching like the red carpet and I see him behind, Reese Witherspoon or something. Obese Witherspoon. All right, well, Tim, I'll have to have a talk with Tim. But I apologize.
We need to get him fat again. I think if he's fat again, we'll like him again.
He's on his way.
Let's get him off the fucking.
Just be nice.
Shit.
I don't think his default setting should be hostile.
Some people in show business get empowered, and it's affected. I was telling Danny this story before, the way show business affects people. Before you guys got here, I did the Aspen Comedy Festival like 10 or 11 years ago, and they got me a lace limo when after I was there to go to the airport. So I'm going to that Aspen airport. And the limo driver's a real nice guy. It's just me and him. And I told him to keep the thing down because he knew it was a local. He knew everything about the town. So he's giving me this interesting tour. And we're cruising very slowly because I was on time to the airport. So his radio goes off. You could hear the radio. Talking about a vibe changing. This is what came over the radio. His dispatcher goes, listen, Ed, get over to the St. Regis right now. She's waiting outside right now. Diane Keaton's kids have to be driven to their ski lesson. This guy hit the gas. We did 110 to the fucking airport. He's like, I flew back, and then he like skidded out like Starsky and Hutch to the airport. I tried to tip him. He almost left without a tip. I gave him $20. Like, I'm trying to tip him. He goes, I gotta get Diane Keaton's kids are getting a ski lesson, and I gave him $20, and he just, we were having a nice conversation. Right. Then all of a sudden, I just became some fat hot comic. He's thinking, and Diane, and then I found out later her kids are 3 years old.
Oh, jeez.
She had kids, 3-year-old kids, 2 rich kids waiting with their fucking skis.
My kids have yet to ski.
Are you going to make them ski?
I want them to try. I don't know. I can barely ski. I've been like 5 times in my life.
Skiing breeds assholes.
It does. That and lacrosse.
My buddy,
lacrosse worse.
My buddy Michael Deege is one of the really one of my best friends, like a brother to me. But he's also real trendy, and he gets really good at stuff. But he would get real was into bicycling for a couple of weeks and stuff. And he taught when we were like 22 years old. He got really into skiing, and a good athlete too. So he was good at it. But we're driving up to Canada on a ski trip, just me and him. It's like an 8-hour trip. And he starts telling me about these new French skis he bought. He goes, all right, I bought these new skis. They're called Dynamiques. They're French skis. I said, what are they called? He goes, Dynamique skis. Unbelievable. I bought them from this guy, real expensive, but they're French, so you got to expect it to be expensive. They're great skis. And he kept saying, Dynamique, yeah, I never heard of that. But we get there, we're rooming together. He pulls the skis out, and it says Dynamic. It says Dynamic. And I said, Deej, what did the guy charge you for Dynamique skis? He goes, well, it's a French name, so, obviously it was more expensive. And I said, dude, that says Dynamic. He's pronouncing it. He goes, no, dude, you know nothing about skiing. So, I'm going to take advice from you, Art. Like, you know what you're talking about. I go, Deej, I don't know much, but I know this. You're acting like an asshole, and that says Dynamic. Dynamique.
Should have ordered him a Domino's pizza.
Right, exactly. All right, so some new phone calls came in. There's a guy who does this. Well, it's not a character. We're choosing to believe he's a real person. Tan Filato, and he claims to be Dan's gay lover from Chicago. And he calls himself Tan in the first phone call because he gets gay tans in Miami. That's the premise. And again, Joe points out the character's flawed because why would he have Dan's last name? They're not married.
He has the same last name.
Not
I don't know
married.
what the fuck he's talking about.
So
that doesn't matter.
Does he justify it in any way?
No. Maybe I haven't heard this one yet.
Maybe they were married.
Joe breaking down the character like
He said in a voicemail that he took his name.
He took his name?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
A past voicemail.
What else do you fucking need?
What was his reason for taking? He just decided to.
Maybe it's like
I
Gary.
guess so.
What else do you need, Lorne Michaels?
You ever hear Gary Shanley's joke? When I marry my wife, she not only has to take my last name, but my first name too. So, hi, I'm Gary Shanley. This is my wife, Gary Shanley. It's a funny joke.
I love it. He's got some of the best relationship jokes.
He's so funny.
Yeah,
He's another one that should be on TV all the time. We were just talking
depressed
on the way.
just a
up.
major
Plastic surgery craziness.
He looks odd. And again, comics again like him. He's the kind of guy who you'd think would make fun of plastic surgery, like we all do. But you get so vain, you end up getting it. But if you ever see him on those shows, like I saw him on an episode of that Paul Provenza show, Green Room. He was the quickest guy there. He was so quick, man. Anyway, Gary Shanley, we're all fans. But so here's some new voicemails, and Twitter really blowing up about Tan Filato. They want more Tan Filato. So here's this the newest Tan Filato call. Here we go.
Dan's giddy over there.
Hey there, Artie. This is Tan Filato calling you back because I heard that you requested I call you back. Tan Filato, that's obviously Dan Filato's gay ex-lover over here in Chicago. And I just want to let you know I've been doing much better without Dan. I've been going out dating. I'm actually dating a Chicago bear right now, and not a guy from the NFL team. That fag football team. I'm dating a big, hairy, fat guy from Chicago. That's the real Chicago bear to me. I know Dan, that homo, might like watching guys play football on TV, but that's all bullshit. And Dan, like I said, the locks are changed, and don't come back here, Dan. I'm better without you. And
liberating himself.
Once again, Artie, this here is Tan Filato.
We know.
Enjoying my freedom without that asshole Dan Filato.
He made a mistake.
Tan Filato for life. And Dan, I fucking hate you.
Wow.
Artie. You're doing a good podcast, and I hope you get the message out that Dan Filato doesn't love his boyfriends. Once again, this is Tan Filato saying goodbye.
I understand. Dan, how do you react to this, Dan? Do you deny these charges that you and this Tan Filato buttfuck in Chicago?
Calling you back.
Dan, get on that mic, Tan.
He's obviously deranged because he's a White Sox fan. We've been told that.
Hold on. I love that. That's the only reason he's deranged.
That's how big of a baseball fan
He's
Dan
banging
is.
That's what you. How do you know he's a White Sox fan?
He said it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he said it.
It got lost for me in the fact that he's buried in your ass.
Yeah,
Paul's
yeah.
gave me.
He's not crazy for any other reason. Did you hear? Just that he's a White Sox fan. He has not denied any of the charges against him.
Right.
Dan
Also,
Filato.
exactly. That's a good point. Also, very politically incorrect. Very refreshing in this politically correct day of age for this guy to do a character and go, fig. That fig, those Chicago figs. Play football, Chicago Bear. Not really the Bears, but the hairy guy they call Bears.
I got a premise for Tan Filato. He needs. I don't think that call had it didn't really have a through line.
You got Del Close from Second City over here.
No denials from Dan Filato. Here he's back.
No, but I think. Let me say my thing.
Don't you have your own mic?
Here, let me have it.
Oh, okay. What do you want? Oh, he's getting a mic.
Before Dan gets on, I think it would be funny because he's claiming to being your ex-lover. Why doesn't he ask basically in the voicemail, like, is Dan doing some of these things that he did when he lived with him? Like, wondering if you're noticing these things that he does as a roommate.
Like, I wake up and he's in my ass?
Like, different things that annoyed him when he was living with him, that wondering if he's doing while he's living
So that's
here.
a premise. Tan Filato, if you're listening. That's
he's listening.
That's
this
a
is
Joe
his
Matarese premise.
I just want to say no denials from Dan with a D. No denials.
Yeah, that's a
from
big
Dan
thing in improv.
Filato.
I do 73 comedic characters that are registered with the Second City, and in improv they teach you. I studied with Del Close. They teach you not to deny on stage because it keeps the scene going. And one thing I don't do is deny.
Here's what I love about Joe.
Okay.
You get the preface all the time with Joe. Nobody's listening to my podcast, but then he's got a million podcast tips for me.
Oh,
you know, you should take more pictures of Artie. Well, maybe he doesn't want pictures of his apartment, Joe.
When did I say that?
Oh, listen, my podcaster's like,
where's this coming from?
because listen, I have a
I don't
premise.
know where this is
I don't want to keep.
Dan's another one.
I don't want to keep this Tan Filato thing going. So there's Joe with his big ideas. He's doing a sketch on it.
Why don't you want to keep it?
It's hilarious, though. Why would we not want to keep it going?
Dan, you don't care.
You don't take it
I don't
seriously.
No, there's a little bit of a lover's heartbreak. I understand where the angle is coming
Dan
from.
is one of those heterosexuals from Chicago that really denies the gay thing.
Right.
Oh, come on, I'm not gay.
Is Chicago a homophobic town?
Oh, my God. Well, so's Jersey. I come from that too, North Jersey, but it's very like if you just say Dan, like Dan, you're gay. Oh yeah, I guess I'm gay. I banged 3 chicks last week. I guess I'm gay.
Yeah, he does.
Nobody thinks Dan. No one thinks Tan Filato's a real guy. Dan, don't worry about it.
Joe breaking down the bid on everything. Listen,
Well, Joe, that's what Joe does.
on my podcast, we would.
That's
I never say that.
Yeah, you do, Joe. You say it all the time.
I do?
I've never heard him say
Yeah,
it.
he does. Listen, my podcast followers like this.
When did he say that?
He said it the other day.
On the show?
You came in with tips. Listen,
On the show.
No, this was
This
before.
is off the air.
No one talks
okay.
as much as Chris Cotton, so you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. I mean,
All right, I won't care.
See,
No
this
more
you
tips.
got to hear.
Oh, Joe,
No
I'm
more
kidding.
tips.
Joe, I'm
Dan,
kidding.
you're not producing well. I want Joe to be annoying.
I'm kidding, Joe.
He's totally kidding. No denial.
I've never heard you say that.
Right.
Look, you know what? Dan's the only person who made Joe mad on the Alexis, on the medication.
Wow.
Fucker. When I get mad, I turn into fucking Tony Soprano.
No, listen.
You're
that's
fucking
why
out of
you
line,
got-
Dan.
When you go, Tim Sullivan and Dan Filato are great together because they both have this pent-up anger.
Oh, I love it.
And they argue all the time.
And they explode.
Fuck you, Timmy. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Dan, just calm down.
It's so dead on.
Just calm down, Dan. I'm driving. You know what you're doing, Timmy? We're late.
He had
We're late.
not.
We don't know where the hotel is. Just let me drive. I mean, well, I'm trying to relax.
He had not
I got to do an
heard.
hour on stage in Boston.
That's hilarious.
3 days after he had not heard the French terrorist attack.
Well, he gets. Listen, he's not. Again,
Timmy
is
had?
not.
He had not.
He's not a guy who watches the news. Not a current events
Come on,
guy.
dude. That you don't know about?
Yeah. Well, no, I know. Listen,
What was
it's
the
even worse. He thought the Zapruder film was an actual movie in the theaters.
We're
not kidding.
Well, what is he? What is his? What is his?
And he went to
existence?
college.
Yeah.
He went to college.
But what is this Tim Sullivan's?
Russ-
he floats around
Russ
like,
can't stand
like a
him.
cosmic dust in the ether. Like, what is his existence? I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know his existence.
What was that thing you were ripping on him in the car right up to Boston about the Rolling Stones #1 influential singer of the
Lord,
year?
he said Lord. But meanwhile, Dan says stuff like that, and then Dan knows everything there is to know about Taylor Swift. We were at my uncle's
Because
house.
I read the
We were
paper.
at my uncle's house Christmas Eve, and my 2 Italian uncles, like Gamble, like Italian uncles. Yeah. They're sitting there listening to Dan go, Taylor Swift writes all her own songs, and she's unbelievably talented. She's very underrated. And then my Uncle Tommy's like, what are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, and I'm like, and then he goes, I read the paper. You stop reading the paper. I stop. I read the paper too.
Tiger Beat qualifies as a paper.
When the Taylor Swift article
Tiger
comes
Beat.
up, guess what? I stop reading the paper.
Still, after all this time, no denials over Tan
No.
Filano relationship from Dan.
I've never heard a heterosexual guy know more about Taylor Swift. I'll say that.
Any comments, Dan?
She writes her own songs.
Wow.
They were telling everyone how untalented she was.
Who was
and I
saying
said, somebody came up at the table. I just didn't bring up Taylor
Yeah, my
Swift.
14-year-old niece.
Okay. I had an argument going with her.
What's your problem, Jessica? Listen, Stephanie, you're talking to Uncle Danny here. Taylor Swift writes all her own songs. Why is Stephanie crying? Because Dan is screaming at her over the stuffing. What else? What other phone calls do we have?
We've got another tan filato. We got a bunch of them, actually.
Well, let's skip around.
No.
Let's skip around.
This is Mike from Verona.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Art, it's Mike. I'm the one that called you out about Clemenza with the 20, cooking for 20 guys instead of 40 guys.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Verona, so I just got to tell you, when we were in college, beer league was like our fucking catcher in the rye, and nobody fucking understood it except if you were from North Jersey.
That's quite a
so I just want to say thank you for making the fucking Lawrence of Arabia of our era. I'll talk to you soon.
That is
okay. In North Jersey, beer league's like Lawrence of Arabia.
That's
listen to me. Typical, and I will say this for myself: a bet's a bet. On Twitter, I got into a gambling situation with this kid. We start doing movie quotes back and forth. So he quotes a line from The Godfather. And I should have consulted Dan on this. Dan would have known because he knows The Godfather as well as I do, I think. But Clemenza's teaching Mike how to cook in that scene. And he goes, come here, kid. He's shoving your sausage and your meatballs. And he goes, come here, kid. You might have to cook for 20 guys someday. I thought he said 40 guys. But in the movie, he says 20 guys. So I go to the guy, dude, I'll bet you anything. It's 40 guys. You're wrong. He goes, Art, I'm telling you, you're usually right. It's 20 guys. I go, what do you want to bet? He goes, I'll bet you a hot dog. There's a great
hot dog.
I grew up next to this place, Galloping Hill Inn. It used to be called Peterson's at 5 Points, the 5 Point section of Union. Been around for 70 years. Has amazing hot dogs. And he goes, I'll bet you a hot dog at 5 Points that I'm right. So I go, done. And he was right. He sent me the YouTube thing. It was 20 guys. And I never get shit like that wrong. So I can't welch on a bet. So I'm meeting this kid Friday to buy him a hot dog.
Well, it's funny that last weekend you lost how much money?
$4,100.
$4,100 and a hot dog. It just fucking keeps coming.
Over a Godfather line of all people. Like, Dan, would you have known that was 20 guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
I thought it was 40 guys.
And that's my trick.
Yeah, why that? I know the rest of the scene verbatim.
You know the scene in Goodfellas where he says, I'd order Menashevitz, but I don't think you like the way it looks?
It won't look good on my table.
Does he say table or tab?
Table.
You sure?
Table, I think.
Table
Yeah.
or tab?
Again, I don't know. I'm saying
I'll bet you a fucking 2 hot dogs that he says tab.
I bet you $5,000 it's table.
I bet it's table, too.
I don't want to look good on my table.
Tab.
Table. Is it tab?
I don't
you
know
for sure?
I don't
No,
know.
table.
You know what? Tomorrow.
That's one I'm not sure of.
Tomorrow we'll a tease that nobody cares about.
Table.
Tomorrow we'll.
I won't be here tomorrow, but you guys can do it.
Good.
I'm away.
No, let's talk about it.
What?
Table.
No.
No, he says table. Dan,
Table.
your thoughts on this?
Table.
I am not a Goodfellas aficionado as much as the Godfather.
I'm almost positive he says
Table.
Yeah, but we'll get the YouTube clip of it. We'll get the YouTube clip.
Is this the kind of stuff you do on your podcast, Joe? That your listeners like?
Again, I think he's all over you.
A lot of my listeners signed up for the Artie Lang podcast.
People would like a better description, Dan, of the podcast.
When did I say that?
You said that.
Oh, I did say that.
Yeah, thank you. See, at least he's admitting it. That's what I love about
I
it,
just
Joe.
thought the theme of the Artie Quitter podcast there was about
for 2.5 hours.
And I've known Artie forever, but there's a lot of ones
there's-
I don't even know all the quotes.
There's
in
no
the,
real theme. That's the thing. Like you have a definite theme, which is good.
No, I
There's
don't mean the
real
theme. I mean
When you said
your
theme.
your intro that with the quotes that you're saying.
Oh,
a lot of them I didn't know.
We got to fix that.
I said, why don't you
Well,
put
it's
some of
not
the
about-
classics?
It's not about knowing them. It's just about hearing me say something. But
Yeah.
I agree that could be better.
I know a lot
like to
more
f-
classics. Some of your stand-up
I'd like
stuff.
to figure out a song.
I'll cut it together. That'll really
Go
piss
ahead.
Dan off.
I don't care.
I'll show up. I'll go in the
Well, I don't
garage
see
band.
Dan getting over his ass
He's
to
taking
know.
the garage band class. He was just over there last week.
I know he's taking all these
He's ready.
classes at Apple.
He's ready. I want to take one of those classes with you. Tell me next time you're
What
going.
happens at an Apple class? What do they do?
There's a guy up at the front of the room, at least the one in Soho.
Yeah.
Because if it's not at Soho, you have to sit at a desk with like all old people. But the one at Soho is like a little theater. And
the guy gives a like a lecture. Like
he has a computer that
Steve
goes up on
Jobs
the big
used to give
screen,
him.
and he tells you everything that's in
It's
GarageBand.
free?
Well, what
Yeah,
did
it's
you
free.
learn how to do in GarageBand? What did he tell you how to
Just
do?
how to input the stuff and how to change it.
And yeah, I
and
taught
edit.
him how to input. I taught him how to input too in Chicago. Here's your input, Tan. It's Dan, gay Dan Filato's lover.
I'm going to add that to Tanfilato when he does his next bit. I would like you to talk about that you work teaching seminars at the Apple
Of all
Store.
people, for Dan doesn't need it. Of all people who should go to that is me. I should fucking go.
You don't even have email. How are you going to pick up GarageBand?
Is there an email class? All right, let's hear one more, at least one more voicemail.
Do you want to hear the Goodfellas clip before we do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Any fun?
Oh, he's got it.
Tab or table?
I think he says tab. I want to hear if he articulates
Table is what I'm
table. You want to wager anything?
And Russ says table. I bet you.
Table.
How much you want to bet? How much can you afford?
Matarese won't bet any money.
I bet you $100.
I don't want to bet cash. I have no money. But
then that's like a trick.
let's bet like a food thing. Like you did hot dog.
That's really going to give me action.
A couple of slices.
Yeah.
A couple of slices.
Can't wait for
It's
Joe
not
to bring-
about the hot dog. It's about I got to go meet this strange kid at the fucking hot
that's
dog.
weird.
place.
So 2 gluten-free meals, right, Joe?
Oh, he called you a
What does that
fag.
mean?
I have I could tell by I'm going by James that I'm wrong. I'm reading his eyes that I'm wrong.
Listen, I know for a fact he says table. In your head, you're thinking tab for some reason.
All right, let's play. I think I'm wrong.
Good, huh? Yeah, you probably do a lot better with Manischewitz, but I look funny on my table.
He says table.
He says table.
Yeah.
He says table.
The key there is
Tab would have
he
worked.
hits the A. He hits the A, so it's definitely table, not table.
You know what it is when you're watching in a movie, you don't hear it as well as you do when you got the headphones.
When's the last time you
on.
saw it in a movie theater?
When you got headphones, you hear table.
Yeah, but
In the movie theater, you're like you hear tab.
everyone else heard
you like
without
the way it would look
headphones,
on my
table.
tab. Tab works too.
You have it does, but it's not.
It's written out in a Jewish font. I don't know.
My God.
I
Just
took it
admit
as an
you're-
anti-Semitic joke.
admit you're wrong.
It is an anti-Semitic joke.
Well, you're
right?
an expert on those, we know.
You missed it. You missed it.
According to people down in the cellar.
Oh no!
I'm kidding. All right, so pick a doozy. Pick a doozy for another voicemail.
You want a long one or a short one?
Well, what? Just a funny one.
This is Brian's week 1 in review.
Oh no!
Hey Art, this is Brian, and as promised this morning on Twitter, here is the Artie Quitter podcast, week 1 in review. Hi Artie, this is Bruce from Frisco. How are you? So excited you're coming back here to do another show. Amazing. Remember the last time you were here? I know I do. I wonder if Bill Cosby's going to be there.
Okay, stop for a second.
Well, hello.
Does anyone know what he's talking
No,
about?
where's
He's
his
talking
review?
about you promoting your stand-up gig at Cobb's.
That's a moment from the week. You
That's
picked
what
out? I plugged.
James, that's what you got
I
too,
plugged
right?
the gig in San Francisco, so he's doing Bruce.
I think so.
And you plugged that week 2,
Okay, go ahead.
not week 1.
Today is I would like. Well, hello. This is William H. Cosby III.
Oh God!
Congratulations on the podcast.
He's just doing generic news stories.
But the real reason for the call today is I would like to make a confession on the show.
What the fuck?
Great impression, though.
I will admit that I did in the past put the Quaaludes in the Thunderbird, and I did put the Roofies in the pudding.
All right, it's not a week. That's not a week.
A week in review would have been great. I was excited to hear his review, and he ruined it.
He gets to that later in the call.
How long do we have to wait for that? When we got to trudge through to hear that?
How many shitty Cosby hack jokes do we have to
That's
hear?
you know. We'll hear. Pick another one.
It's easy.
Pick a shorter
one.
one.
He blew it.
Artie, you fat bastard.
Gee, wow, that's a nice.
Come to Boston. We want to see you again. You degenerate, you fat, smoking, having, smelly, fat piece of fucking dog shit. Come to Boston.
Come to Boston? I was just there.
That's definitely the guy that was yelling your name during my set.
Maybe. Was he yelling out "fat piece of dog shit"? What is there? There's another Tanfilato, or is there another one besides the Tanfilato that's good?
There is another Tanfilato. It sucks that we missed out on Brian's week in review, though, because he did an impersonation of everybody on the
Oh, I
show.
want to hear
Well, he
that.
should've
Can you
get the-
can
you
you
gotta-
cut
you gotta
forward to
lead
it?
off with that, man.
You
I
can't
can
jump
move
into the
forward to it.
middle.
Yeah, I can go.
Yeah,
Yeah, go there.
come on.
Life makes more money than me, so I got to listen in. You might even.
Oh, I got to hear this guy.
I know I talk fast. I hope you can keep up with me. If you listen in, you might hear me say something like, Will Chamberlain is the best quarterback that the Yankees ever had.
That's me.
Or you might hear me do my Stuart Scott impression. Booyah.
This is
Anyway,
Joe?
my wife
I
makes
never
more
did a
money
Stuart
than me,
Scott
so I gotta go pick up my kid at the bus stop.
That's funny.
But my friend Jimmy Palumbo would like to say hello.
Uh-oh.
Hey guys, Jimmy Palumbo here. You doing big news in 2015?
That's pretty good.
There's a chance, a possibility. You might get to see me on the big screen as the fourth extra in Home Alone 19. They might cut me out, they might not. I don't know. Just keep on the lookout for that. Actually, I'm at Chris Cotton's right now trying to get him out of bed for the podcast. Hey, Chris, wake up!
Chris Cotton.
Give me that phone.
Trying to get him out of bed.
Give me that phone.
Yeah, this is Chris Cotton. Who this?
That's pretty good.
Oh, you won't get me out of bed at the crack of noon. Do a podcast? Nigga, please. You know my wife Quenisha ain't having that. Eat that deep thick pizza, you know what I mean?
Ganesha.
Anyway, y'all know I only had this bed for like a month, right? Plus, I got a toothache, and plus...
That's hilarious. Chris Cotton. Joe, saying the kid thing was fine, but the rest was weak. Palumbo and Cotton, very funny. Good stuff.
Did he do Dan?
Did he do me?
And he do Artie?
No.
He got cut off. What are you getting up for? Everything all right?
Yeah, Alex the Stoner's on the phone.
Oh, let's.
Oh, I love Alex.
What do you mean, live?
Yeah, live.
Okay, Alex. Alex the Stoner, you're on the air. Is he on?
Mm-hmm.
Alex? We're trying to take phone calls. He might have hung up.
I guess he hung up.
Well, he is Alex the Stoner. That was our first attempt at taking a phone call, not working. I go to the last Tan Filato. Maybe he'll call back. If he calls back, let me know.
You didn't.
What the hell's that? That's our busy signal.
No, that's off the hook.
Fucking A.
Is that you saying it's
1980
good?
here.
You're saying it's off the hook?
Oh,
like
that's what the that's what the phone.
I thought you were
sound.
being hip hop.
I wish I was that. Cool.
Hey Artie, it's Tan Filato calling again about my lover Dan. I made a huge mistake. I've been drinking and I said some things I didn't mean. Dan, I want you back. I miss you. I felt like my last message that I meant for Dan basically was like when Ray Rice punched his wife out on the elevator. I fucked it up. Dan, please take me back. I miss you, Dan. I can't keep up this fake tan without my Dan, man.
He sounds
I
like
miss
Barry
you, Dan.
Katz. Do you hear
Come
that?
back to Chicago. Let's go to a Cubs game and hold hands.
Do you hear the Barry Katz in it?
Let's walk the promenade over there by the by that big old Sears Tower. Let's go watch an Oprah episode. Or let's do something fun, Dan. I miss you. Let's go hang out with Mark Grayson and all those fun Chicagoans. I miss you, Dan. Please come back and be my man.
Greasy.
The locks aren't changed. So that was just me trying to be a big tough
When
guy.
you think this guy's done, he just
All
keeps
right,
going.
Dan. This is Tan saying that I miss my man, Dan Filato. My man Filato. Bye, Dan.
Do you know who this is?
No.
I think it's Barry Katz.
We haven't officially found out. Alex the Stoner, you're on the air. What's up? Alex! I don't think we have the technology. Dan Filato's too busy working on a Joe Matarese impression
What about now?
to get the phone calls.
Artie, man.
Alex!
Hey!
What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
You're officially the first caller.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so fucking stoned.
Now, do you get up?
Like,
You get
fucking
up? Do you do what they call the wake and bake? Do you get up and immediately get high?
Oh yeah, dude. I got the fucking OG Kush on my dresser and I just take that shit off.
Yeah.
Load it up in my vaporizer and I'm good.
Is that what you smoke exclusively? OG Kush, original gangster
No,
Kush.
man.
Is that what it is?
No,
Original
I have-
gangster Kush.
It's either original gangster, ocean grown, organically grown, whatever, man.
What do you go with?
I grow 4 different strains.
Oh, you grow it,
Of course,
dude.
man.
Do you think
I'm not paying for this shit, man? You think I'm rich like you? I don't do stand up and make like fucking 25 fucking grand a show, man.
Hey, listen. Well, it's 30 actually. Do you? Hey, listen. Do you? Do you feel? And be honest. Do you feel smoking weed has affected your life in a negative way?
No. Well, maybe a little. Okay, you want me to be 100% honest?
No, we'd like it
I
because
think
you don't have
it
any
might-
money, and I think that might be the reason why.
No.
Okay,
I
go
think it affects my memory a little bit, you know?
Yeah, well, you need that.
Other than that, you know, it makes me happy and makes my my neck feel nice and makes me laugh at your jokes.
Well, that we like. But what do you get any income at all?
Do I get any income?
Any money?
Yeah, I get a little bit, you know, here and there.
No, we don't know. Where you,
Do you
what do
deal?
Well,
do you deal?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it dealing, my man.
Well, even no one knows where you are, and I mean, not gonna figure it out. I mean, you could be honest.
I'm not even, man. I'm not even in the same fucking country as you guys.
I'm sure you're not. You deal. So okay, so you make a little money on the side. Do you have? Put it this way: do you ever get a W-9 form that you have to fill out, like Russ Meneve?
So you're asking if I pay fucking taxes?
Well, kinda. I mean, if you have a regular job, you would.
I'm gonna go ahead and not comment on that.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna get the pancakes.
I've been good all week.
But I'm not. Hey, keep in mind, I don't take money from the taxpayers.
Right. Okay.
I'm not on
good.
welfare.
Good. All right. We like hearing that.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a girl?
Oh no.
I used to.
Yeah. What happened there?
Now my only girl is Mary Jane.
What did the weed affect that as well?
What? No, no. She
pothead with a
smoked
landline.
like as much weed. She smoked as much weed as me.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, well, listen. I would love to maybe have it come in live one day. You're not in the country. Like, how far away are you?
I live near Toronto. Let's just say that.
I'm going to be in Toronto, dude, doing a show. I'm doing a charity show.
I already tweeted at you, man, and told me to come out of the closet and come to the show. You know.
Okay, you come out of the closet in what way?
Well, actually, I kind of grow in my closet. So.
Oh God! All right. Well, listen. Bring some of that OG Kush with you when you come. I want to get a contact high from.
I'll bring some of the white haze.
I think. Can I get a contact high from just sniffing one of your flannel shirts?
My flannel shirt, man. What the fuck?
Sorry,
I'm a lumberjack.
Sorry to insult you. All right. Well, listen. Watch out for that Toronto show. Call in any time. Leave some voicemails, but maybe you can come in live one day. We'd love to have a live.
Hey, man. Did you get my voicemail from Sunday?
Did we? Yeah, we did.
All right. Play that shit, man.
All right, man. Thanks for calling, brother.
I'll talk to you later.
Later on. It's Alex.
You fucking bastard.
Okay. Alex and Stoner. Thank you so much for calling. There's another call? Who's this guy now?
Oh, that was your phone. Oh, all right.
You know what we do? We run it through the regular line. It's very sophisticated.
This is Sean.
Sean. I think Hey, Sean, you're on the air. You're on the Artie Quitter podcast.
Oh, I'm Sean. Hey.
What's up?
So my buddy, he comes into the room and he says Artie Lang is taking calls on his podcast, and I say, who's Artie Lang? And he won't tell me. So can you tell me who you are?
I'm actually a guy who does stand-up comedy for a living. I'm what we call in America a comedian.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. Hey, how old are you, by the way? You sound like there's not a drop of testosterone in your body.
I'm 25.
No, get out of here. Are you a woman?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, all right.
It does sound kind of chicky. Now, is that who can? So your friend or roommate is a fan, but you don't know who I am.
Yeah, he's a big fan. But I didn't know. He's at Howard Stern. I don't know Howard Stern.
Okay, well now we know you're bullshitting. Well, listen, Sean. The premise for this bit clearly went well. Call back again.
Sign up for the podcast. Become a fan.
Sean going with the premise that he doesn't know who I am, fine. Doesn't know who Howard Stern is, and the joke getting old really quick. Joe has that look like I got to pick up my kid from the bus. We could wrap this up real quick. Joe, again, give your plugs here.
follow me on Twitter at the Joe Matarese. Listen to my podcast, Fixing Joe, available on iTunes, and you can listen to it on joematarese.com. Come and see me live, 23rd and 24th of January. I will be at the wonderful Bust a Gut Comedy Club in Toms River, New Jersey. Come on out. That's all I got.
And Russ,
I'll be at Comedy Cellar, various clubs, and I'll
Yes.
be in Spain at the end of February.
That's right, hanging out. I tell you what, I've seen some details on Russ's Spanish trips to go over there. I'll be at the Borgata Valentine's Day and Cobb's in San Francisco the weekend after. Artie Quitter, artiequitter.com. Thanks, Russ.
Thank you, man.
Love
Thanks
you,
for
man.
having me.
Flippin' love you, Dan. Chicago Filato. Tan Filato, all the callers. Love you all for listening, and see you tomorrow. Take care. Brush your hair.